I want to make this quick video because I feel people have still not understood how far advanced AI is at this point and what the real issue is with certain types of channels. So we're going to go back to that one channel that's been blowing up, or supposedly it's not even that blown up at this point. But if you haven't seen that video, I will link it. The end of the video very clearly shows the 666 right here. So I'm not sure if everyone's actually seen it to the end, because when you get comments of upset followers or pseudo followers, you're like, yeah, but this and that, she says this and that. And I'm like, have you actually seen the video to the end? So the 666 sign is very telltale. And I found this comment so beautiful down here, English Silver Stacker. That tells me you could be an initiate. Why post a satanic symbol? You have just outed yourself. Yeah, case closed. That's all you need to know. Now, what I do want to say is I got this really interesting comment. I'm just going to read it. And I'm going to read a few things. But basically with that channel, what was being said is, I was curious where she indeed came from, how she popped up suddenly. And I think this is where everyone's just so flabbergasted. It's like popping up suddenly. It looked like her videos evolved in tech, but she becomes more AI and hypnotic by the day. Look up her earliest videos. You'll see and hear her real body, face, and voice. It's American. The first videos are meaningless. Absolutely agree with that. And I'll show you those videos too. Like, why would you post something like that on YouTube, right? Like, it has nothing to do with the content that she posts right now. The comment goes on saying, there are like 10 meaningless videos, and then it changes into messages. Now, in such a fast rate, like, don't you have anything else to do? Maybe the technique, music, and editing is AI. But I also think, why would someone be pretending to be organic with truth use that much AI? I agree. Why are you using a face filter? Why are you using like all this AI imagery and AI voice and everything? But the information itself should come from the person herself. The information is presented in such a fast rate that AI is generated too, I guess. So AI generated me is probably from ChatGPT and all those outlets, because it all sounds the same. Comments from herself are AI generated too. Maybe it's like you said, that the first video is what's needed to clone the rest. So what I said in that video was you can just create like this AI avatar of a person. And you can do that from like just a handful of videos that they already have in their Instagram or YouTube or whatever. I was also curious when I could catch her with untruth, because there's also truth in her information. Yeah, that's how they rope you in. They give you a little bit of truth, or like 50% of truth, and then like wham, the hammer comes down. Oh, now you have to worship the archangels. Now you have to worship the fallen angels. And when I saw Chanterelle, I think this person means the Satario, whatever's in her Instagram profile, that she belongs to the fallen angels. So if you go to her, Satario, I think that's what they mean. When they saw that, I knew for sure she's Luciferian or another faction of negative beings. All those archangels are actually archon angels, eventually warring each other, Michael being the worst, which is artificial ley line full of churches. Yeah, so I have my own video, I think, on the archangels already. If not, I might have to make that again in the future. Archangels is not something you want to worship, no. Very angry entities, and a lot of them are just AI created entities. So one thing that I do want to point out is this person gets so immensely triggered, they had to make at least 3 videos trying to shame me. And in one video, I found this really revealing. Let's just listen up here.
I don't defend myself anymore. I let whoever think whatever.
I mean, this picture here in particular looks really demonic in my opinion. So this is her voice that she uses in that video, and this is one she uses usually.
They said it was just a physics experiment, a harmless test with...
That sounds nothing alike. If you go to that one video where she's really upset about, oh, so how dare someone just review her? To me, the more I listen to that video, the more she actually sounds Eastern European to me. So I know that one comment said, oh, she's American, she's not British. I'm like, I think she might actually be Eastern European, and she's neither British or English speaking. And so what I really truly think is that this person sounds nothing like you see in the videos, which is also why her voice doesn't match her lips. because she's just using one of these AI generated voiceovers. You can do that through TikTok. You can do that through all these other apps. She's probably not using the one on TikTok. She's probably just using one that was made for her. So once again, it could be like several people behind this account. And this is what I truly think too, especially after looking at the Facebook page and everything. But they're just using these AI generated voiceovers that sound like this usually. And then one person got really upset because a review video of mine, like all of a sudden was gaining traction. And I want to say I'm not the only one who's reviewed this person. There are a lot of videos, like at least a handful that I've personally seen, that are calling her out in the BS that she's posting. So I'm unsure why after mine came about, she has to post like at least 3 different videos. And also she actually commented on it, which I'll go into. So anyhow, long story short, she's using a voiceover that's British to make you believe she's actually British. And you can see my hands here. Okay, so the hands are really crucial, as we already discussed in the last video. Not AI generated. I'm not using a voiceover. I'm not doing any of that. So anyhow, she's using a fake voice. We will never know what her real voice sounds like. She never goes live. And if she does, she might do it in such a way that you can't tell. You know, she might have her face in the dark and there's like a voiceover, like a lag with a voice. But honestly, we don't know what this person sounds like. And I think that is like almost the most deceptive tactic you can ever pull off with people online, that you're using a voiceover for your own voice because your voice might sound like has an accent because you're from Eastern Europe or some other area in the world. And it's just so deceptive, because imagine you're listening to my videos already since 2019, or if you've been following me on Instagram since 2017, right? Like, you know what I sound like. And then you meet me in person and I sound completely different. Like, that's basically the scenario we're facing here, right? Like, this person is just nothing. There's nothing real about the situation. So it's quite disturbing, honestly, because voice is a part of your identity, and trying to hide that, trying to diminish that, or trying to just use a completely different accent even over your voice is very disturbing. Okay, so we go to some of her videos. I think it was more when you go to the oldest ones, there's a few from Florida, which have nothing to do, you know, so 8 months ago, this and that, which have nothing to do with what popped up here 3 months ago. And you go to her shorts, it's the same thing. Oldest right here. Yeah. Florida. Why is Florida so weird? Like, in some, she shows like cars from Florida. You can watch it yourself clearly. What I also find more disturbing is, like, every time I post a video, she just posts like a random something, like, oh, look how many F's I give. I'm like, well, why do you actually have to post how little you care about my content? You know, like in this one in particular, look how much okay, weird. Very weird. So you're stalking my stuff is what I'm deducting. And the creepy bunny costume, like, it just keeps popping up over and over again. So that's something I wanted to show you. And then we'll go real quick into her comments. So she's claiming she had admins on her Facebook page. And of course, everyone who criticizes her is jealous. It's the same thing. You know, this is like, these people are so much in their ego that they have to make 1, 2, not just 2, because there's one here on witch hunting, which I think is supposed to be a jab at me. I haven't watched it. I don't watch her stuff at this point because I know it's embedded with frequencies that are just trying to keep you further from the truth. The female betrayal frequency, the witch burnings number stopped. Well, that is so funny because actually she's witch hunting my channel and she's trying to get my stuff censored, is basically what one of her comments said. Like, how dare you criticize me? I'm going to work hard on getting that censored. That's what one of her comments said very clearly. I'm like, oh, so interesting how you're talking about the witch burnings, but you're actually trying to witch burn me. So the hypocrisy is huge. And this is how you already know these people are not coming from the purest of their intent. You know, there's one little video floating around criticizing, rightfully so, the 666 symbol, the AI voiceover she's using, and saying she's probably not who she says it is. The Facebook page was very legit. You know, there were actually people, like guys, commenting how I wrote this, I wrote that. So, you know, all of this is very legit. Like, but then, oh no, how dare you criticize this? And in none of her replies, she actually addresses the 666. I want to say the same. So one of her replies says, it's always the same pattern, is it? Well, is it? I don't know, because honestly, I don't think it's always the same pattern with this person. I think not enough people are criticizing her. Not enough people are questioning her, looking at, how many brainwashed people are coming to her stuff and commenting. As soon as someone starts waking people up in ways that can't be silenced, I completely disagree with that. You're just roping people in. You're trying to deter them from the real truth, and you're using ChatGPT content too. The accusations roll in. Well, this isn't an accusation. The accusation is you being you, right? Like 666. What's up with the 666? There's no reply to this. And she can't comment on the 666 because she knows exactly what she's doing. I'm not part of any system. I'm not funded. I'm not filtered. I'm not protected. I've been attacked, censored, slandered, shadow banned, and I'm still standing. Of course you have. You want to see a shadow banned account, go to my account. Your account is not shadow banned. Your account is blowing up with the garbage you're posting from 0 to, at this point, almost 60K. And people need to understand this. People need to understand what censored actually means, okay? She's also claiming, fake AI controlled opposition is not right. All from people who've never spoken to me, never done the work, and never risked being visible with the truth. Are you actually insane? Are you fucking, out there? What do you mean never risked being visible with the truth? I think I've been more real with every single content that I've posted, with every single thing, speaking up against the 2020 agenda, every single agenda out there, than this person ever has in the past couple of months that she's been posting Illuminati-controlled material on her channel, okay? So that was always oh my God, like head palm. Is this person even, this is how you know they're very much in their ego. And by ego, I don't mean the new age ego that you need to get rid of. People just have a huge overblown ego. You want to look at actors, you want to look at chefs have a huge ego usually too. People who have such a huge overblown ego that they cannot fathom that someone actually tries to point out the truth. And I feel this is part of the ego. Other new agers have that huge ego too, by the way. So if someone feels the need to make a whole video about me, how dare they make a video on you? My goodness, get over it. You know how many videos that have been made on me? I mean, you've already made videos on me just to talk about it. And you're not even mentioning my name. Mention my name. Have people come to my channel. You won't do that because you'll be scared at how people wake up early, right? From all your deceptions. But no, these people don't even mention my name because they're so scared of the truth, of people actually waking up to what's going on with this thing. Twisting my words, my face. How am I twisting your face? And my mission, ask yourself this. So no one's twisting your words, your face. You're doing it yourself. You're posting shit like this. Okay? No one's twisting anything. This is my reply to this stupid ass comment. Who benefits from trying to drag down a soul? I don't think she has a soul, or whoever's controlling the account, the millions of people have a soul. Who's trying to help others break the system? You're not breaking anything. You're just deceiving people. And then again, jealousy doesn't always look like envy. Okay, a weird way to phrase it, because jealousy and envy actually are two different things, but this person wouldn't know because they clearly are not, they're not even British, they're not even a native English speaker, so they need to go back to English school and learn more English. Sometimes it disguises itself as exposing someone. Actually, the video title is reviewing. It's not exposing. But yeah, maybe we should start with that. So anyhow, I found that absolutely mind-blowing, how someone is so triggered that they actually have to come and, really try to keep the material down. And now that it's not working, because it's a rightful critique, a rightful review of her material, all hell breaks loose and they do this. And then I want to finish off with this very beautiful post that I saw. I don't know this person. I don't know. And they actually do seem to be British for once. So this is a real Brit. I don't know if they're legit. I don't know if they're controlled opposition either. I literally don't know anything really about this person, but I like the post of this person. My friend forwarded this to me after that review video. They're like, oh, you might like this one. What I do have to say is that this guy, Anderson person, he talks about the cloning centers and everything, and that is very true. So he talks about the celebrity cloning and how even smaller accounts are being cloned, smaller people who don't necessarily make it so much in the limelight, and that would fit very much with the narrative of this person. Something has been puzzling me, and this is from 3 weeks ago at this point. So you want to, shove it in my face that I'm the only one critiquing you? Absolutely not. Why don't you just harass this person's post? No, you wouldn't dare to, because it wouldn't fit your victim mentality narrative of a witch burning scenario, whatever that even means, right? And it wouldn't fit your narrative of, oh, no one else criticizes me, only this one. No, it's absolutely BS. So Guy is saying, something has been puzzling me. I'm not sure if you have seen any of her posts, but Emma, which I don't even think, maybe this person exists, but I think for sure there are a lot of other people who run her accounts, like we already established in the previous video, who has a page called Killuminati, and it's so creepy. Like the name in and of itself is just so creepy, right? Appears seemingly out of nowhere on Facebook, sharing a mix of spiritual esoterica, biblical references, and deep state conspiracies. Her early posts only get very little engagement. I noticed that as well. If you really go dig through her entire Facebook thing up to down to the bottom, they barely have any engagement. For someone who's supposedly been doing this for so long, yeah, it leaves you scratching your head, right? Then likes rise to a couple of hundreds, but suddenly within 48 hours in February this year, her content is racking up as many as 14,000 likes per post. This meteoric rise feels too polished, too sudden, too perfectly timed to be organic, and now she's focusing on Tartaria. So I guess he does something with Tartaria, and that's what rubbed him the wrong way. Perhaps she isn't working alone. I strongly believe she's not working alone. It's impossible to create so much content alone. And what I really think is that she's using ChatGPT, asking these questions, and ChatGPT gives her all these answers because all of her videos sound the same. I'll discuss that in a moment. She may be fronting for a coordinated digital influence operation, possibly backed by three-letter agencies or ideological think tanks. These organizations are known to test narrative control through online personas. Emma's content is tailored to hook a growing demographic, truth seekers, conspiracy enthusiasts, and those disillusioned with traditional systems. And this is really the issue, because we all know there's something so wrong in this reality, everything, but then people are always looking for a savior. And in this case, this is a typical savior. Other types of saviors would be, oh, Trump, the president. Other types of saviors are something like Project Camelot. Other types of saviors are, like all these other accounts that are supposed to save you, but just hook you in deeper and deeper into the narrative you don't want to be a part of. I believe her posts are seeded into various online communities, amplified by bot networks, and pushed through engagement farms to create the illusion of authentic viral growth. Yes, absolutely agree with that. But I do think that there are real people still following her, which is unbelievable. There's also the possibility that Emma is not a single individual or even a real person. Her identity tied to mystical bloodlines, biblical mythology, and spiritual enlightenment seems almost too cinematic. Agreed. Is the rapid spike in engagement on her posts a natural outcome or the result of algorithmic manipulation? Her content may be used as a Trojan horse in a larger operation, a test to measure how quickly certain themes can spread, polarize, or pacify online audiences. While she appears to be dismantling elite structures with her anti-establishment tone, she may actually be helping redirect public unrest into a harmless feedback loop of mysticism, memes, and soft rebellion. In short, the numbers don't add up. A jump like this doesn't happen overnight and is a little suspicious. It could be evidence of a tightly controlled experiment in narrative engineering. If this theory holds weight, then Emma isn't the revolution, she's the bait. That even rhymed, so that's beautiful to see. And then you see a few comments down here. I thought she was AI generated. All those things, contradiction in some of her posts. The contradiction is the ChatGPT, and a lot of people are catching up on other creators who are using ChatGPT and their post contradicting itself. So I wrote something on my own Instagram, which is an Instagram that's actually kept down. Like, you want to look at one that's kept down, look at mine. The rise of AI on this platform, others, is seriously sickening, geared towards pushing into ChatGPT, AI music, soulless direction, purposely keeping down your numbers, your views, your everything, if you are actually sincere, to show you that you can't even make it as a sincere creator anymore because it's shoved down your throat constantly to use AI and sell your soul off for the likes and fame and whatever that is even supposed to do. I had a different example of a creator who does like more new age stuff, where all of a sudden everything blew up, also in the course of like 2 months. So February was a pivotal year for a few accounts that are now being outed. All AI generated content sounds the same if you haven't guessed it yet. We are not this, but this. We are in need of this. but instead we are here or we are this. You know, it's always like, you are doing this, but you are supposed to be, you know what I mean? It's like always the but, like the but, and that really the but always gets people's attention. And you know, so it's always the same sentence structure, the same robotics, the same everything, and it's taking over our platforms like a bad fire that can't be extinguished, causing serious havoc and destruction to whoever is still sincere and trying to get their word out and their organic work heard. And the emphasis is on organic, you know, organic meaning you don't need to hype it through these engagement farms and AI bots and everything. BS deserves to be called out. This is why I called out one person this week alone on the AI generated voiceover they've been using in all their videos. This is this person. And of course, all their content, which was from ChatGPT, not their own thoughts or insights. There is real power to the numbers. I could see that for myself this week. However, those numbers are supported by AI, the sad reality. So this is really what we're facing, you know, and it's quite disturbing, and people are catching up to it. You know, I like here, the comments, I think fake AI, AI cloud seeding psyop, analyze, extract more information from it, all those things. So I just want to leave it with this. I do think people are waking up, luckily, to all these deceptions, whoever this person even is. But the real issue with channels like that one is that, you know, we have this entire self-created drama. Like in this case, it's her posting all these videos on, oh, I don't give any F's about you, but still they're posting about it. But it's like the self-created drama, you know, that you don't really need. Like, I'm not overly dramatic when I present this material because I really don't care. I know ChatGPT is going to be very short-lived. People are catching up on the distractions again, and people are catching up that the voice doesn't match the lips, all of that. It's a huge distraction from the topics that really matter. And I feel that's all they want. Like all these cabal controlled accounts and people who are part of that, they want to keep you distracted from digging deeper into topics that actually matter and that get us closer to the truth of everything and essential things that we need to see now. But instead it's just bullying or one more pointless video. And that's why for me, I won't be giving any more energy to it. You know, you've seen the 666. That's all you really need to know. So you're going to end it the way we started it. The 666 is the pivotal one that she could not even explain in her upset comments towards me. But yeah, real faces always show themselves. So I'm going to be interested to see how much longer people are going to fall for the AI voiceover and the ChatGPT content. I hope this helps anyone who was on the fence about any of this. And we are in very strange times right now, you know, like very, very strange times. So stay organic, stay soulful, and stay tuned for upcoming content.